I'm Oliver, I'm a VFX student and I'm the director of Reality Heist, and I was also a 3D artist on that film. So Reality Heist is the film we did, is the last thing we do in nutrition.
She is a crazy mad scientist who creates this really weird alternate dimension machine. She triggers it and she gets teleported to another dimension and she goes exploring, but then there's a huge monster lurking in the trees.
My main role was creature artist, so I was in charge of the CG model of the monster.
The goal is to have a film piece that makes us work on a continuity of VFX shots in a story. But the thing about this project is that it's really important to understand the place of VFX in storytelling and not just having an excuse to make cool shots. So it's really important to understand what we want to say and how to make VFX that actually tells us something about the action, about the story.
So it was supposed to be an alternate dimension that was dusty, arid and very dead. So I had to kind of build the world not fully 360 but have an overspill, so just in case we wanted to move anything, we can. When we got to the shoot, there would be less room for error and more creative decisions to happen.
The main guideline was to have a monster, a creature that would be spider-like, but at the same time that would camouflage with the main scene that was involved. The spider would have to look like the trees of the forest, so that I had to study all the anatomy, how spiders were looking like, how do they move, for an animation point of view mostly. And then I had to study how to make this blend with a tree shape.
We did everything in pre-production. We wanted everything to be very tied together and to make a lot of sense. Because that's true that in VFX sometimes it's something a bit hard to understand what we really do. But the really good advantage of being a VFX artist but also the director is that I could talk to those creative people and try to develop all those environments in the same direction, even before shooting.
So I think giving visual effects people, an experience of what I call 360, the whole kind of thing from previs to being on set, to kind of creatively negotiating with production designers and cinematographers. Having that experience is so naturally knitted into everything that we do here and was totally knitted into this shoot. This is one of the few places where you understand how all of that plays together, and that's got to be giving you a certain, like I say, like a seat at that table.
That's the best thing about the school. It was a huge step in just fully jumping in, creating something that I've never done before, but it challenged me artistically and also technically.
And it's great to work on set because it's fundamental for our development as a VFX artist, to know what information we actually need during the production process to make the post-production smoother.
So it's like learning how to communicate with them and how to transmit the ideas and the moods you want to say in a story. Learning from what they do and how they do things.